Hailing Performance. It's been a week or so since I've done a YouTube. I was away in San Francisco teaching a course for the Czech Institute. I was seeing some clients, got back, was a little tired, so I haven't done a YouTube this week. But I've got some requests. I actually have some good ideas for some new YouTubes coming up. I'm going to talk about using grips for shoulder stability. Forget the other ones I want to do. But today I want to talk about why I think the shape-up shoes from Skechers, that the tongue twister, are very silly. Skechers shape-up shoes from Skechers are silly. Say that 10 times. Number one, they look retarded. I'm sorry. I don't care if you think it's judgmental. They look absolutely asinine, and if you're wearing them, I apologize, but that's my point on it. Might be superficial, but they're just not attractive. But that's beside the point. Number two, why I don't like this. If we really look at the body, you know, they're claiming, or Skechers, by doing research showing it helps you lose weight, because everyone wants to lose weight. So you're telling me wearing a sneaker is going to help me lose weight. And if you actually believe that, I don't even know what to say. Number two, it actually helps with posture. Well, if you understand biomechanics and you understand the gait pattern, which is walking, gait is actually 85% one leg. If you understand anatomy, using those shoes will actually inhibit your posture. I'm going to talk about that. They talk about how it helps with increasing your stability, and I'm going to talk about that, because if you actually understand how the body works, the research that they're doing is just completely bunk, and they're doing it, in my opinion, right, because there's people out there going to say, well, you're very judgmental, and, you know, it's your way or the highway. Well, it's really not. I'm just going based off my experience and understanding the body. Most of the research they're doing is trying to show you and prove that these things work. So, of course, they're going to find some good out of it. Now, are these shoes going to kill you? No. But, you know, everyone has a different gait pattern. Everyone has different orthopedic issues. Everyone has different respiratory patterns, which easily have a play in this. But the bottom line is, if we look at the muscular system, now this is for the layperson, so I'm going to do the best I can to kind of bring it down a couple notches, because as you know, I like to use big words. They make me feel good. You have what's called in your body a tonic muscular system. The tonic muscular system, that's the muscle system in your body that we call slow twitch. They're typically aerobic muscle fibers. They're not recruited initially when we move or do an exercise, but after a certain amount of time, typically over 70 seconds, they're actually starting to be recruited, and they're recruited longer, right? This is typically what long-distance runners use. Or if you're doing a set of squats and you're doing a really slow tempo and it pushes you over 60, 70, 80 seconds, you're going to recruit more of the slow twitch fibers, things like that. Typical muscles in the body that are slow twitch, you know, we're talking about maybe the small muscles in your spine, a lot of the small muscles in your joints that stabilize the joints. And what research has shown is under faulty loading, these muscles will typically shorten and tighten to protect the joints. Keep that one in mind. Two, we have what's called the Phasic System, or these are more of our fast twitch muscle fibers. These are our movement muscles. These are the muscles that are basically anaerobic, that are recruited first when we move. Like sprinters, right? They sprint. They're not going over 70 seconds. They're actually going under 70 seconds, anywhere from 20 to 40. So you're using all these global muscles. These are our movement muscles. Like I said, there are anaerobic muscles. This is maybe when you do a 8 to 12 rep range at maybe a breathing pace, or even a 4 to 6 rep range, a 4 to 8. That's when you're going to be using these movement muscles. So let's kind of talk about these systems. Well, if we look at even exercise, you see a lot of people doing machine training. Well, researchers show when you sit down, you actually shut off that tonic, that postural stability system. And you're actually going to overwork the global system, so you're going to create more wear and tear in the body. Over time, the body is always designed to adapt. The body is regulated by two principles, the MENS system and the SAID principle, which is your body is adapting to the demands that you put on it, just like the shoes. So if you constantly train in machines, you teach the body to isolate joints, number one. You teach the body to only work in one plane of motion, number two, because most machines don't work in other planes of motion. Number three, over time, you're going to create more wear and tear because you're not working the stability system. You train your body to actually sacrifice stability for mobility, which leads to injury. But at the same time, if you keep doing it, the body perceives it as a threat. So what it'll do, it actually create hypertonicity. Now, it's hard to say which one. Depends on the person. A lot of the time, it's going to create hypertonicity of either the type 1 or type 2, the aerobic versus the anaerobic, the slow twitch versus fast twitch muscle fibers in that area, which can create rigidity in the joints. Same thing goes for overusing stability balls and stability exercises. A stability ball doesn't make that exercise a stability exercise. It has to do with the intensity, which is the weight to be used. The tempo, the reps, the sets. It's a science. So if you think standing on one leg is a stability exercise, it's not. It has to do with those variables. But if you're always using BOSUs, not everyone needs a BOSU. If you're overusing stability exercises, and you always train like that, and you don't take someone through a stability, strength, power paradigm, just like the shoes, what happens is the body actually becomes hyper, let's say, recruited. And for some people, always being in this situation with the shoes, being in an unstable environment, just like a BOSU or just like a stability ball, for some people, not all, the body perceives this as a stress. And what happens is you start to overtrain these slow twitch muscle systems. And this will actually create hypertonicity in those muscles, which create rigidity in the joints, which actually can lead to poor posture, which can actually lead to joint pain, decreased flexibility, on and on and on. Same thing for people that maybe are over-recruiting their global system, right, which is their big muscles, mover muscles, and they buy these shoes, and they start using them. They're in an unstable environment. They haven't trained the slow twitch system, so now the body's actually going to create compensations to stabilize the joint in basically unstable, unstable meaning the shoes environment. So either way, it always depends on the person, but the bottom line is, when you're wearing these shoes, it's a threat to the body. And if you do it 24/7, you can actually overtrain the type 1 system, which can easily create hypertonicity in the body. The spinal stability or joint stability is regulated by the central nervous system, which is the brain and spinal cord, the osteoligamentous system, which is bone and ligaments, and the muscle subsystems, or the active movements of the muscles. Now, in an article here by Leon Chaitaw, he talks about how if we're always recruiting these slow twitch postural muscle fibers for prolonged periods of time, meaning always training in that environment, always wearing these shoes, what's going to happen is the body's going to actually adapt to that, and it's going to constantly recruit those. And if we overload those, we can actually develop what's called what he calls a metabolic crisis. And then he goes into talking about that's how the body actually develops tonicity in those muscles, trigger points in those muscles. You know, when you get massage and you get trigger points. So the bottom line is, the thing you're doing is actually creating the problem. You have decreased flexibility, you have joint pain, you have poor posture, you have trigger points, and you go see a trainer or a practitioner to fix this, but the very thing you're wearing is actually causing the problem. So think about this next time when you buy these shoes. If you're overtraining in the stability system when it comes to using Swiss balls, BOSUs, you know, whatever happened to just squatting and bending and pulling and pushing and deadlifting and using weight? You don't have to stand on one leg and do crazy exercises. You don't have to be on a bongo board. It doesn't make you look cool. I'm not saying that shouldn't be a part of your training. The bottom line is, if you always train in an unstable environment and you have weaknesses, or you're globally dominant, just like most people are, and you buy these shoes, you actually create a metabolic crisis for the body. It's going to over-recruit the slow twitch system, which is going to create rigidity in the joints because the body sees it as a stress, and it's trying to actually stabilize the joints. So it can actually lead to wear and tear, injury, poor posture, inflammation, on and on and on. So hopefully you've enjoyed this YouTube clip. You can call me judgmental, but I'm just speaking my experience on these shoes. If you love them, now I want to do a quick addendum to this. If you're in pain, if you have knee pain, joint pain, any type of pain, a lot of people get these and go, my pain's gone away. Well, the question you have to ask is, do you have pain because of the sneakers you're wearing? If you do, we have to look at your mechanics, because if there's pain, there's inflammation. If there's inflammation, there's inhibition. If, you know, you have to work with someone to figure out why you have pain. I can tell you right now, it's not a pair of sneakers, it's not anything that you're wearing that's going to alleviate your pain forever. It's just going to create a different program that might get you out of pain, but in the long run, you might end up with more wear and tear, you'll need surgery, on and on and on. So if you're in pain, you have back pain, knee pain, ankle pain, and you wear these, and you feel like your pain goes away, good for you, but the bottom line is we have to think about a year, 2, 3, 5 years later, is this going to create more compensations and actually cause more wear and tear and actually cause more problems and more joint hypertonicity or more joint tightness, leading to more injury? So if you're having these issues that your body's speaking to you, find a practitioner, check practitioner, personal trainer, physical therapist, osteopath. Find someone to work with to alleviate this so you don't have to go out and buy these silly shoes. So thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, you really did.